Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Star Citizen FM, episode 16. My name is Dr. Hawk, and I will be walking you through today's episode. So, unfortunately, we don't actually have a huge meaty thigh bone. I'm actually still cleaning out the raptor wounds from Zane. He's very frisky when he's upset. It's nasty stuff. However, we still have 20 minutes to report on, so without further ado, here is the recap of what happened in Wingman's Hangar, episode 17. The first point of notice is actually not game related. You'll have to forgive me as I sidetrack here, but to those of you who know, Wingman he's a big boy. He is now on a low carb diet. The reason I'm bringing this up, he went from 239 to 222. He seems to think that's not amazing. I've had family members who I've watched shrink from, they've lost 70, 80 pounds. It's nothing to scoff at. So, even if you guys want to support the game, support the developer by supporting his program, because that way we will get a happy developer as opposed to an upset developer. And this is a bad attempt at brainwashing, so yeah, I kind of fail at it, but give Wingman some support. It's a very commendable endeavor, and be proud for him. Other points of notice more related to the game. We now have 2 new artists. I don't know if these are the 2 artists that were mentioned long ago in resume battles with broken pool cues, but they are Ted Bergeron and Jeff Kavit. I didn't get the specific as to which. One of them is a 3D artist and the other is a concept artist. So we will probably be getting an interview with the gentleman in the near future and get to just sit down and find out who they are. Another point of note, the star map is now in the works. So to any of you that have been looking forward to the star map, we probably won't see anything physical in the meantime. But there probably will be some updates as we, continue along, and be patient enough because, as mentioned before in previous episodes, we kind of have to wait right now. Like right now, everyone wants to see the Aurora, and we only have a side view of that. You'll see that later. So yeah, star map we'll probably see in the future. I'm kind of hoping they pull something like they did with Mass Effect. Mass Effect, for me, I think did the best star map in all 3 games. Just the concept of here's your ship, fly around. Maybe not fly around and control it like you did in the game, but just as a representation. You could zoom in and out, look at the systems, and it was pretty to look at. And even having some sort of ambient music in the background would be a nice little touch, as opposed to just looking at a map in most MMOs that I'm used to, which is just press M key, there's a map. GG, you pushed a button. So we can probably look forward to something related to the star map in the coming months. Other points of note, the hangar gear is initially finished, is now finished, or at least wrapping up. So when we get our hangar module to run around and test, we will be able to mess around and customize a little bit. And, you can, if there are enough shipping crates in the hangar, or depending on what we have, I am making a fort. You are never too old to make a fort, and if I can place the boxes and ammo crates to make a nest, a hawk nest, or just one tall pole, and have a cool little tree. This is getting where people come into the Hawks hangar and just be like, "What the fuck are you? 2? Shut up! I can build a nest if I wanted." So we can probably look forward to that and some customization. Wingman did mention later in the episode that that's the focus, so you'll be able to compare what everyone does with the hangars. Don't know if you'll be able to visit each other's hangars right off the bat, but we'll see. The other mention was the handle scandal. Some of you in the forums are probably very familiar with the handle proposal that was brought up. This was the paying to reserve a handle. I will get to this later, but so far there's been a good compromise, and I think, it's worked out, and people can put away the pitchforks and flares. And lastly, something that I've been excited for, they have their Oculus Rift dev kits. So now their Tracker IR, whatever. Well, actually, I don't even know why you'd want Tracker IR when you have an Oculus Rift. So maybe if we're really lucky and we behave, we'll get to play with Oculus Rift in the Hangar module and Dogfighting Alpha coming out. So we'll probably have more of that in the future. So let us move on to forum feedback, or crap. I can't even do that. How do you move your lips so fast, Wingman? I have no idea. Anyways, Waltar was the first to ask, can explorers make money by exploring? With 100 systems in-game, I fear everything will be found quickly. This is a very valid point, most MMOs, players, there's content locusts. To anyone that's not familiar with that term, a content locust is somebody who burns through the content of something new, so say an expansion or even just a game, as quick as possible, either for the thrill of it or because they no-life it. And I'm sorry to offend anyone out there, but and I'm guilty of it too, hands up for Dark Souls. I've no-lifed games. You don't stop, you don't eat, sleep, or drink, or anything. And usually those people end up either publishing everything or burn through it, and, most other normal players with lives and jobs and obligations are left behind with this half-eaten husk. So, he did say that you will be able to turn in the coordinates. This was mentioned previously before too, that you'll be able to turn in coordinates to the authorities for like a sort of bounty or reward, or just mine the systems for yourself, either mining or whatever the systems hold, derelicts or outposts or even enemy bases. However, he didn't give out information, he was holding some back, also not giving out information pertaining to exploring something in store. That's what my notes are. So who knows what we'll be able to do for exploring. Maybe it'll be instance-based, even though somebody's been there 500 times, you come back one day and there's a floating derelict ship. So, whoa, where'd this come from? Don't know. We'll see in the future, but I've spent too much time on Waltar's question. That was a good question, actually. Hermes, I can't say his name, I apologize. I demand to know if there will be any hidden Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy gags. Very good book, very good movie. And given the fact that the SC crew is equally as dorky as us, I am pretty sure there's a high probability that there will be an Easter egg or 5,000 in there. So we should calm down a little. There'll be plenty of Easter eggs, and if you've watched Wingman's Hangar, you already know they like to throw in their little tidbits. DOS256 asked, I understand CIG will be at Gamescom. I was wondering if we might be seeing some celebrities there. Wingman isn't exactly sure about celebrities, and I don't know either. I don't know if he's talking about movie actors or people like Cliff Basinski or, some of the guys from Bungie. It was kind of vague. However, they'll be there. Eric, Chris Roberts, the crew, Sandy. And he was even mentioned about something about a card holder event, so I might actually have to start selling my kidneys and look towards funding a trip to Gamescom. Oculus Solus, how would you clear your name from the most wanted database? I sum this up. Basically, I think Eric said it best. If you're targeted and in the UEE's database for crime, pretty sure you know why you're there, and you'll have to suffer the repercussions. However, there was mention of bribery or either hacking your way out. How the mechanics working, don't exactly know, so we'll probably have to wait and see as to what kind of mechanics they have in store. Bribing is the most sense and most straightforward, but hacking your way through could be interesting. Lapier was the next to ask, when will the new RSI site be up and running? do you have to apply to beta test the new site? This is a question that a lot of us have actually been asking. If anyone remembers my interview with Zane Bien, he did say that they're still working pretty hard on it. However, Eric did say that the new site will be ironed out, polished, etc. But first of it will start to come through in May. There was mention of about 100 or so beta testers, or alpha testers, whatever, that will be needed. There should be a forum post in the near future, so if you're interested in doing it, I know I am, so I can sit there and break things for hours. I find some weird pleasure in doing it, almost masochistic, so to speak. Point aside, if you're interested in beta testing and you want to help the company out, even if it's not related to the game indirectly, you're still helping. Sign up for the beta, keep an eye out on the forums, or either the com link. I'm pretty sure it'd be a com link. And knowing Wingman, you can probably look forward to a forum post if you are interested in beta testing the new site. So we can look forward to some cool stuff probably. I still don't know what kind of features we will have though, so one can only dream. Reebok was the next to ask if we will be able to customize in the Alpha Hangar module, and I already did mention this, so I'm sorry Reebok, I already kind of covered your question, but as Eric said, yes, of course, this is part of the testing too, so it'll be fun. They're like I said, Hangar of the Week, etc. The actual, going to visit other people's hangars, they don't know. In fact, Hangar of the Week might not even be there. It's all TBD right now, so don't jump into the hangar and be pissed off right away that you can't, decorate your hangar with blow-up dollies, because I know Koros, that's probably his plan. Scrambled legs. Any chance of a turret-mounted plasma bolt firing crossbow? Say that 5 times fast. For tactical stealth purposes, of course. No.
No! No!
Yeah, pretty much. Like, really? Plus, why the hell would you use one of those over a freaking laser beam? Or a Gauss rifle? Or a railgun? Or an autocannon? Or a photon? It's just... there's options out there that are a lot more appealing and interesting. But at the same time, funny question regardless, scrambled legs. The next question came from me. To some of you who have responded, yes, I'm sorry, I was wearing my human thrall. I'll be sure to have the feathered form next time. The question that I asked was, what happens if you get stranded? And I mean very. I know it's been asked before, nanny ships, etc. What if you drift into a black hole? It's like the extremes. I'm a huge survival nut, Metro or Stalker. I like the scavenging aspect of some games, so I don't know if well, whatever. The answer that we got is that yes, you can get stranded, blown up, floating in space. The options available to you are nanny ships, so probably just NPC ships that if all else fails, if you wait 40 minutes, they pick you up. Friend or guild support, I figured this would be an option, hey, I ran out of fuel, Alara, can you, come and give me some fuel? What? Fuck, asking? Sorry, bad idea. Alara would laugh. They'd just be like, too bad, Hawk. But, asking somebody for help. Black holes, he mentioned, might actually shoot you through space, so probably more wormhole, because a black hole would just obliterate you. But nothing related to, marooned. So I don't know if your player can actually crash onto a planet or a location and you're just stuck there, walking around. So we'll probably have to find out in the future. But in relation to ship and, your initial ejection, you'll never be completely stranded, and there will even be some stuff to do. So this is a feature I hope they elaborate on, because I've always liked the concept of if you mess up, you have to pay for it. And there's times where I'll rage at it too, but you so are happy when you finally overcome it. And that's why Dark Souls and Demon Souls remain a games close to my heart, just because I think they achieved that very well, and I'd like to see them do that in Star Citizen. Enough about me. Atomic Hawk. Oh, sorry, one more mention. There's something I am going to address later in the video that several people have pointed out who are, gun savvy. I'll point that out later. Atomic Hawk was the next to mention. Will we get to see the Aurora or concept art of it? Well, Wingman was saying that you can't, but if you're watching the above video and look, have a decent pair of eyes, I guess that's all we're getting right now. So, yeah. Look and extrapolate is all I can say. Blacksmith Wolf. Do you take all your feedback from the official forums or look at outside sources as well? According to Wingman, most of the feedback is on the forums. In fact, they're trying to sort of, keep most of the community on the forums, and this is both from a marketing and business standpoint, to keep your fans on the fan site. But even Star Citizen fan sites out there, they check them out, they talk, but finding out most of the info and the devs, they'll pretty much be on RSI forums or wherever, or chat roles. So try to go there if you're interested in talking up Wingman and the Wingman's Hangover, or have a general question. Most of the community is really supportive. You have a question, they'll answer your questions for you. Heartsblade wants to know how the Tracker IR support is coming along. I've never got to play with this, so I honestly can't vouch for it. But he wants to know, has the team worked on it? It was a pledge goal. Will it be available in the alpha? Given the fact they just had their Oculus Rift kits in, and that's literally almost the same thing, except 9,001 times better, I'm pretty sure you can look forward to some Tracker IR support in the alpha, and possibly Oculus Rift support. I'm still running off my laptop, as some of you know, but I'm getting that Oculus Rift if it comes out before I get my new computer. If anyone's been on YouTube, if you check out some of the reaction videos of people using that, it just makes me want that all the more. And Chris Roberts wanting us to have an immersive experience, I think this is a ace in the sleeve pretty much for Star Citizen, so it'll be really cool to see how Star Citizen looks with Oculus Rift. Kin Shadow, evading a few local wildlife, wanted to know, will there be any non-sentient enemies in the game that we'll be able to fight, either in shipboarding, you release the hounds, or maybe even back to my question, if you get marooned, you're gonna have to worry about space whales eating you or something. They aren't exactly sure, related in the first-person department, since it is more related to your ships. So space spiders or space whales and space lube, that's pretty much all the answer we got. There could be some sort of organic giant sentient life, but until they get the game out and everything ironed out, we won't know for sure. And lastly, from Legante, the man himself. Whoa. Well, that doesn't look good. Well, shit. Yeah, crap. I hope all that works out in your favor. And if not, can I have your stuff? It's a very creative video. Great job, Legante. I don't exactly know what you're trying to do there. Killing yourself off when you still got an awesome game that's coming out in 2 years isn't exactly the wisest of ideas, but who am I to judge? And that was pretty much all we had for forum feedback. So, on to hot topics, and actually I'm kind of happy they brought this segment up. Well, they don't directly talk about the topics that are discussed. I will. So, if you're tired of too long didn't read talk, then this is the time for you to nod off. The 3 topics of hot thermodynamic stuff is cockpit versus planet side, the Origin 300 pictures, and multiple characters with one handle. And I'm going to mix in multiple characters with one handle into the handle system. So, cockpit versus planet side, I actually honestly have not read up on this that much. I just got a new job, so I'm literally trying to play catch up with the community. So while I can't address that, and I will try to in the future, one of the things that we have gotten of, and what I mentioned before in the previous episode of mine, is the Origin 300i. Yes, there's some Hornet jockeys out there. No offense to you guys. You guys are great pilots, but look how sexy that is. Like, that's like an F-35, F-22 in space. I think a lot of us who have pledged for the 300i are getting pretty excited about it. I know I like the look. I think they nailed it. It's just a damn beautiful ship, and it seems a lot of everyone else seems to think the same thing. So, not so much to discuss as just to keep staring at it, just because it's a very pretty ship. You know, Chris Smith, you guys that modeled this, good job. It's really excited and looking forward to actually flying the thing. And like I said before in my show, when the game does come out, you're going to be getting Let's Plays from me and guides and how at least my perspective of how I think you should rig and fit your ships. But until then, I can only just stare at it and imagine many sexual things that could be done with it. Yeah, sort of awkward silence. The other hot topic of discussion is multiple characters with one handle. A few weeks ago, I should have a picture showing up right now, was the naming system they had planned. Either sort of reserving your name and paying for it, and then there was confusion as to what the handle was and how separate it is from your username and what the fuck is going on, and people, it was a kind of a mess. However, at the same time, you would find that Chris Roberts and the community and the crew have written up a beautiful system here. I don't want to really rat on about it before, because I've had complaints of people who didn't like it, but at the same time I can sum it up quickly that, most of us are happy with the idea of paying for handle, and handle would be something that would cover your entire account. So a Dr. Hawk would be Dr. Hawk. You guys would see me in the forums, etc. But if I wanted to play as John Doe, there would be a character name in that. So the handle is so much as how people would know you, and then in game you could have your names or whatever you want. And it's a system that makes sense to me. And in relation to the actual paying for it, I'm kind of on the fence. I can't really pick a side, so I'm not a good person to pick an argument. I personally, I like the idea of paying. I like knowing that I'd be Dr. Hawk, but at the same time, I'm so used to so many games where it's, first come, first serve, that it isn't really that much of an issue for me. So what they do in the future is their decision, but the system that they have here, and again I should be showing at the article, is very in-depth. I highly recommend you go read it. If you haven't been on RSI before, check out the comic. It's always a fun place to go and look for information. So, multiple characters, one handle. Itself is related if we will have multiple characters. I don't actually know yet. As far as I know, I think you will be able to, but it's still being debated just for the issue of balance. So, when I know more, I will let you guys know. That was pretty much the whole of Wingman's Hangar. There was an interview with Adam the Cool Pool. Funny name. He is the associate producer, so the man behind the scenes. Seems like a cool dude to me. Any man that pulls out a tobacco pipe is pretty badass in my view. And having a degree in fine arts and a solid world view, I'm pretty sure that having him on the team is probably 10 out of 10 for the better. Again, still have no feedback if you guys want interviews in the show, so as always, I highly recommend you to check out the com link and check out the full interview if you're interested. The only other notes of Wingman's Hangar worldwide news: XCOR, one of the private civilian aeronautic... I can't have trouble. Space agencies, there, is going to send aspiring astronauts into space. There's a competition held right now where they will be launching a weather balloon. And actually, I think this is already done now, so you might have missed it. but they were launching it to pretty much into the atmosphere and into space, and whoever guessed the closest bursting height will be entered and get to fly into space on their private commercial fighter sort of spacecraft. I keep looking at it and I think it looks like a fighter craft more than a spaceship. But just the fact that we're sending, civilians into space, and that, you don't have to be a highly educated astronaut anymore, which is not a bad thing, mind you. But the fact that people like me, or you, or anyone could go into space, has been a dream of mine ever since I was a young kid, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people. And who knows, maybe in the future we'll be sending people to Mars, or, go visit Zane on Pluto or something, because, raptors like planets that are not planets. It's a planet, I don't care what people say. And we were even lucky enough to have Pete Mackey back. Despite all his injuries, he soldiered on through, patched up, and smelling of vodka. So I'm looking forward to more weather from Pete Mackey, and hopefully next time he won't be so beat up, the poor man. So that's pretty much the whole of the episode. I apologize that it's not longer, but as I've mentioned before, we need to be patient. They're working hard, and sometimes there's going to be slow news days. There was a few cool little tidbits. Sans Num and Sneo, two of our forum members, if you've chatted them with in the chat roll or on the forums, they sent in a interesting package. Now, I was maybe expecting diabetes or sugar, but inside, lo and behold, ghost chilies, habaneros, anything that would otherwise be considered some of the hottest peppers in the world. I think the Scoville rating, the system which they used to measure hotness of a pepper, is somewhere in the hundreds of millions. It's ridiculous. And I believe Forrest was the lucky individual to get to nom on the, I think he picked the ghost peanuts while Wingman did the show, and I hope he grabbed a whole jug of milk, because I'll be honest, while I wasn't a ghost chili, I swallowed a habanero once. Oh, I was ready to shoot myself. It was just GG rage quit life right then and there. It gets to a point where it's not even burning and it just hurts. Like if you feel like somebody's cut your tongue off. So Forrest, good on you, man. And Sansom Sneagle, that's mean, man. How can you do that? You get Mark Skeleton to do it next time. Apparently he's the man. So there you go, Wingman. I want to see Mark Skeleton nomming on the ghost chili. We'll see how far he gets. No milk allowed either, because real men don't need milk. So that was Wingman's Hangar episode 17. So, again, deepest apologies. I also had an interview lined up with Toast, our friendly forum moderator, alongside Slavic and Allgamer. And unfortunately, as I've mentioned before, I just got hired at a warehouse, and the hours are fun. I see that in a serious way of being that my surgery and that put me on my ass for 10 months. It's actually really nice to be getting up and making money, and I might actually be able to get a decent rig that'll play Star Citizen now. So, actually, that was something else I wanted to bring up. If you guys have any recommendations for the Hawk as to what, is good, I already have parts picked out. I know I want the Titan, the NVIDIA GTX Titan. Some of you scoffed at me when I showed that in chat roll, but being that I also model and render and make Star Citizen FM, it'd be really nice to render things in, a few minutes, a few hours, as opposed to all day. Like, literally, a quick note, when I make Star Citizen for you guys, I literally make it in the morning, close the laptop, let it render, and somewhere around 9 o'clock, usually start at 12, rendering, I'm able to put it out on YouTube, and that is unacceptable. So, if you guys have ideas or want to chip in on what you think Hawk should get for computer, aside from what I already have planned, I've already looked at Tracker IR, or even if it's useful for work, like if you think something could help with modeling, let me know. At this point, I'm sort of just window shopping, and there are people out there that know a lot more than I do. The other thing I wanted to bring up, again, I will always do clan spotlights, In fact, I'm even starting to consider talking to clans too. I know originally I said I wouldn't, but I'm starting to see, why not? Nothing bad could come of it, so why not? And as well, interviews in the future will also try to cover more community members than just dev members. So next time I might try to pull in, like as I mentioned before, the soundtrack, the guys working on that, or if you guys have something you want to spotlight, I'll pull you in and let's have a chat. And finally, some of you I know have been watching my Let's Plays. Originally it was Guns of Icarus Online, but then the community, you guys were a bunch of turd burglars and got me playing Kerbal's Space Program. And I hate you now because it's the most addicting thing in the world, yet I keep killing millions of Kerbals. So you should be showing now the latest video. I managed to put a plane in space, and I know all of you are trying to use your fancy rockets and things, but my challenge is I'm going to see if I can fly to all the different planets with various space aircraft. I realize I'm picking the hardest thing to do, but why not? Let's see where we can go. And I'm thinking even if we should get some community challenges here. I know I remember in one of my Let's Plays it was Faleron who said I should try to get to Gilly. So I might start posting in the other games forum and just come up with sort of community challenges with whatever game most people are playing that time, and maybe we can figure out something fun to do and keep the masses occupied while Eric and Chris and Pete and everyone works hard on Star Citizen. That way we don't all go nuts for more media updates every week. Oh, one thing I also, as I said, I would get back to. In my question video, some of you who are probably a lot more gun savvy than me, and I have no doubt, I pulled a real bonehead. If you watch my hands very carefully while I'm talking to Wingman,
Real graceful there.
I pretty much did the stupidest thing ever. It's an airsoft pistol. I fortunately can't walk around with that in a city. But even then, I was covering the barrel with my fist multiple times, and I had a few people point that out, some of them very firmly. I felt really stupid like that, and keep in mind, I shot that video I think about 15 times, and then by the last try I finally got it right, or at least I thought I did. So the battery died, and I just thought, oh, okay, well, better hope I got it. Went home, posted it, and it was only then once everybody started seeing it, I go, oh crap, now I feel really stupid. So yeah, and what's even worse is I took Hunter's Ed, Survival Ed, firearm handling, and I still did that. So this goes to show that even if you know what you're doing, you'll still goof up and be an idiot. So don't do what Hawk does, because you'll lose your hand. And I think one of the comics I saw is, what do you do when you're an idiot and you blow your hand? Well, you sit there with the hole in your hand and you realize how stupid you were. So in the future, I'm going to try to not pull a bonehead like that. So thanks again for those that pointed that out. Yes, I was aware of it, or them now, and I do not encourage anyone to handle a firearm like that, real or fake, because I really don't want to be responsible for any accidents. So that's pretty much my spiel. I again apologize. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. As always, subscribe if you're enjoying. I would ask you guys to check out my channel. I'm starting to get more notice. I post on Star Citizen community channel as courtesy to Coro, so that's thanks to him. Check out Wraith Ascendant. I really should rename that, or either make a new channel. So check it out, subscribe. I put all my other stuff there that isn't related to Star Citizen, or is that I don't deem net worthy of Star Citizen community. So subscribe, check it out, and as always, you guys take care and fly safe. Have a great week.